listen to the General Conversation Podcast. I'm Valerie,
This is Cord.
and this is season 2, episode 11. So if y'all can tell, we just over here giggling and laughing because we don't really have no topics. Because we put in the comments for y'all to give us a topic.
Yeah, we need feedback.
We need feedback,
Feedback. You know
guys.
what I'm saying? But okay, so check this out. I'm gonna
Okay,
jump right into this, right?
so I guess we do have a
Valerie,
topic.
okay, so I have a friend, right?
You have a friend. Is it you?
Not this time. Not this time. I got a friend, right?
Uh-huh.
And it is a lady friend. It's just a friend.
Okay.
And so I was like, I got like a little small gift, right?
Oh,
A
okay.
little small gift. But I think the gift might be weird, Valerie.
What did you get her? Okay, before you tell me what you got her, you said this is a friend. Are you romantically
No,
interested in her?
no.
Okay. Is she getting used to, have y'all agreed to exchange gifts?
We do stuff like throughout the year, but nothing like purposely. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. What you mean nothing purposefully?
Like we might do something throughout the year, kind of like do little small throughout the year. Like we trade off like buying something to eat or something like that. Like it was my treat, but it's nothing like
Okay. Well that's French, like yeah. So
yeah.
okay, so do you normally get her, did you get her something last year?
No,
Did she get you something last year?
no.
Is she getting you something this year?
Um, Not that I recall. Not for like any particular occasion.
I'm sorry for no, for Christmas. Is she gonna get you
Oh
something?
no, see, like this kind of like a spirit of the moment type thing.
Oh, so you just saying you a nice friend. See, you see Cordero trying to put his stuff out there, ladies. Like, look, I just be getting my friends,
That's it. Just
gifts,
say, I was just
just
thinking about.
because gifts.
I
We
was
don't
just
like
thinking
just
about.
because gifts, though. Regardless, okay,
Okay, so the thing is, she's into like survival stuff, and like that's the one I went to the gun range with.
okay.
And I went to
Look, you see, y'all can't see this, but I caught my head when she said survival. Look,
that's when I went to that tactical shotgun course I went to.
okay, cool.
That's when I went there, right?
Uh huh.
And I got a discount because I was with her, right? It's supposed to be. I told you about the price and all that kind of stuff, but anyway, I got the hookup. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying? Saved me $75. You know what I'm saying?
because she must go a lot. Is that right?
She knew the person,
Oh, okay,
so that
cool,
was
cool,
like,
cool.
okay, what else? So we worked that out. Anyway,
Okay, cool.
so I'm trying to think of
Do
the
she
first
listen to our podcast?
occasionally.
Well, if you listening, girl, hey. Okay, go ahead.
All right, so the gift or whatever it was, I got, but she'll have the gift by the time if she listens to this episode or not. Anyway,
Okay.
um, dang, what was I going? Oh, I got her like a tactical survival pocket knife.
She'll be into that then. That's
Yeah,
very thoughtful. Because
yeah,
one, so you said you thought the gift was weird though?
yeah, because it's a gift for a girl. So I was like,
Well, if she's
I
into
didn't want
that
to go
kind of
too far.
stuff,
I didn't go too far to the left and then too far to the right. You know what I'm saying?
right. But if she's into that kind of like that's her bag. If like she's into tactical and survival, she gonna love the knife. She gonna be like, hell yeah. So I don't think you should put like a gender role on it. I think the fact of the matter is it's just like that's what she into. So I
Okay.
think she would love it. Now you get that to me. I'm like, now why you give me this night? I'm gonna take it because look, I'm by myself, so I'm out there in the streets. I don't know what's going on. I got.
So I need to take Valerie's knife back.
No,
Don't
you
want that.
whatever. Give me a taser. If you're gonna give me anything, give me a taser.
Okay.
Cause see, I'm not really fun. I'm not there yet with the gun situation. But give me a taser and I taste the hell out of
So
somebody.
speaking of that, when are you gonna go and like do your gun training and all that kind of stuff? You've been talking about it for a minute.
Yeah. Well, no, I finally said I was gonna do it because I'm in a part. I'm trying to get a home, and you know, but
Hmm.
I'm willing to go. I mean, as long as it's safe, COVID sanitized and
Yeah,
the
the gun is
precautions and everything.
gun
But
is
yeah,
safe.
I have to be familiar with the. So hopefully somebody can give me some training. Like, okay, this is this type of gun. This is what the kickback gonna be. I need to start
Mhm.
small. Don't come in there and try to give me some kind of rifle. Even though
I
in
can,
my
I can,
past life I feel like I could have
I
been a
can see if that
sharpshooter.
dude that I went to the shotgun training with, he'll, if he works somewhere with you.
Yeah, I mean I'm willing to go. Look, I ain't gonna say this year because this year I'm almost over. But next year I can see me doing it. I've never held a gun, so I feel like I have to get that out my mind first because when I think gun, I think negative thoughts. It's nothing
Right.
positive. I think when I think about a gun. Um, but yeah,
Okay.
but yeah. Anyway, as far as the girl, the ladies give, I think she's gonna love it just because she's already into that tactical kind of situation. So Kadero, why are you guys not dating?
I know we just cool. We just
Would you
cool.
like to date her?
I can
Ooh.
say no, but I mean we just cool right now.
Right now, so
Yeah,
later that could change.
I, I,
Have
I'm,
you have
I'm
you
no
cooked for
longer.
her?
I am no longer. What's the word? I'm no longer. What's what I'm looking for?
Single?
Pursuing anything.
But you know what? When you're not pursuing something, that's when it'll happen. I'm telling you.
I'm no longer pursuing anything, so it's not gonna. I'm not gonna be. Yeah.
And you know what? That's when women just gonna start falling in your lap. Kadero, can you come by? And I just wanted to cook for you. I'm serious.
That's
That's
the
how I be.
problem. They always want something to eat. That's. I want something to eat. I got
Look,
on that. I can't. I can't.
cause you always bragging and posting pictures about this what I made. And these heifers out here hungry. They like
For real.
they like. But listen, let me tell you, this is a good trade off. And this is not to be shady, but if you cook for them, they need to bring you at least some wine over it or some napkins because you don't have that,
Bro,
and let you have it.
you gave me some paper towels this year.
Look, and let you have it.
You're right. You're right. You're
Right?
right.
Don't. So that means if you gotta give the stuff back, they need to vomit up their food. That's too much. Okay, never mind. Anyway, but yeah, will I get you some paper towels this year? I'm actually done with my Christmas shopping.
Wow.
I'm actually done with my
Oh,
Christmas
okay.
shopping. So now I'm focusing on my birthday that's coming up.
Wow.
So actually, what
So
if that was like a real thing though? Like it's a whole like this week though. What's today? The 20. What's today? But I
wow.
ain't gonna say what the day is because when y'all hear this, I don't know. Oh, were they here before? No, it'll be Christmas. Well, Merry Christmas to y'all. When y'all hear this, it'll be Christmas, won't it?
Yeah, it'd be I think it'd actually be
It'll
Christmas
be Christmas Day.
Day.
You gonna put it on Christmas Day or no, the
Yeah,
day before?
yeah, Christmas Day is actually Friday, right? Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So Merry Christmas, and I hope y'all got everything y'all wanted, and you had a good Christmas, Y'all
Yeah,
eating good, y'all
we
being
got nine
safe.
days. Was 9 days, 10 days, 10 days before we
10
have made it
days.
out of 2020.
Um, Nine. Oh yeah, 10, cause 31st.
10 days, yo.
I don't know what to say, cause I know y'all ready for 2021, but and it's not like I'm not ready, but what we got to look forward to again? Like, tell me
I mean,
what's on
I
the
guess
agenda.
it really gonna be just another day. I mean, honestly.
Like I want it to be better. Let me just say that I want 2021 to be so much better than 2020. And I know right now they have these vaccine out that they're giving to essential workers, nurses. I ain't here for it. I seen one clip where the nurse took the vaccine and then she started. I guess it was like an hour, 30 minutes later or so. And then they had her talk, and she put her hands on her forehead, and she started getting wobbly and fainting. I said, "I ain't nobody got time for that." And then it was there
Yeah.
somebody caught her, so that's good. She didn't fall to the ground. But you know how that looks for people who are already scared about it. It's like,
Yeah.
see what I'm talking
You don't kind of pass it out.
about?
So Valerie, are you gonna take the vaccine?
No,
Okay.
are you
Hell no. Yeah.
okay? In three, if what if it's required by your job to take it? Are you gonna take it?
No.
What you gonna do? You gonna get fired?
I mean, I'm not. They gonna let me go. I guess I'm not taking it
I don't think they can like make you take it
because
though.
I work from home. You know what I'm saying? I'm not.
But what if they saying we need you to come back into the office? This is hypothetical because we already know you ain't got to come back to 2022. But what I'm saying is if they saying okay, you got to come into the office, but you have to get this vaccine. So it's mandatory that you come into the office, and now you got to get this vaccine. What you gonna do?
I'm gonna play. I'm gonna play that Rick Ross song, hustling, hustling.
What you mean you got to? What that mean? Hustling,
That's
huh?
that's that's when the hustle start. I'm not. I'm not. I'm
You
not.
got to.
every day. That's all. That can be. That's. I'm gonna send my music clip with my 2 weeks notice.
Now that's funny. That's funny. That's something you would do.
Yeah, I ain't ready to do it. I ain't ready to do it. I need them killed the first 6 rounds of people first. Then we'll talk about that.
Oh my God,
Yeah,
no.
I ain't ready to do it.
Jesus.
I need longevity with that one.
Yeah, I do
That's gonna
think
cost
for
each of
most
us
people,
twice.
I think for most people that are not in the nursing or medical field or have to deal with like people, patients on daily, they probably have a different perspective. And if you guys have a different perspective that you really do want to take the vaccine, drop a comment below. But um, I think people that are mainly cautious that don't know probably want to wait to a couple rounds go out so they see what the vaccine is really like. Because one vaccine you have to take 2 doses of it at different
Right.
times, and then the other one I think it's one, but they still don't know. So it's just all the way up in the air, and it's not so long ago that I know they have approved the vaccine. I was watching CNN like last week actually, and they had a lot of uncertainties about the vaccine. You know, like one of the questions was like, if I've already had COVID, do I still need to get the
Mm-hmm.
vaccine?
Uh-huh.
Some other question was, you know, if I have if I've been vaccinated, can I still give COVID to
Right.
somebody else? So it's just a lot of questions, and a lot of the questions, the answers that they had, I don't know. I don't want to say anything where you're saying I don't know. I need you to have more of a
Concrete answer.
concrete answer for me.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like when you, especially like when you see those commercials, and they're like, yeah, this is for your heart palpitations or whatever. This is gonna stop you from having high blood pressure. But then when you read side effects could be diarrhea,
Real, yeah.
loss of vision, uh,
Then they tell you
loss,
the risk a heart attack is one of the side effects. I'm like, I thought you supposed to be curing.
right. I got high blood pressure, now to give a heart attack. So it's like these side effects you be like, I'm bad. Let me just try to do holistic methods. Now I know you can't really do holistic methods with COVID, but just being safe out there. Y'all still wear y'all mask. Uh, they have finally certified Biden as the president. I mean, it only took 19 years. I was like, what is the heck is going on?
Yeah.
Y'all better stop letting that man that's in office right now do his foolishness.
Oh, speaking of that, speaking of the virus, the wearing your mask and stuff like that. I don't know if you saw online, if you heard it yet, but you know the actor Tom Cruise.
Oh yeah.
Yo, he was slapped the fuck off on
I heard
somebody.
a snippet of it. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I think he had every right to go off. Honestly, because that first of all, they look at some people say, well, he's been an ass. I was like, no, 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 because his production got shut down before because of the outbreak, which cost everybody on their production team their jobs because they
Mm,
weren't like following the rules and regulations. So now the second time around, you still got a handful of people. Oh, it's a hoax, it's a liberal, this and all that kind of stuff coming in without doing the regulations or whatever. Now you take another chance of shutting production down once again. Now a whole bunch of people, hundreds of people, can lose their jobs once again because a few people didn't want to follow the rules or whatever.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Do you know where they're shooting at? Are they in Italy or
I
Paris or somewhere?
I don't
Because they're overseas, right? That's where he normally, I feel like,
like if he
films
should
them.
considering the movie he was shooting, it could have been anywhere. Because
Oh, okay.
the Mission Impossible movies, if you've seen those movies, they can be in England one day, Australia the next day, America the next day. So
Yeah,
it
they
really,
do
I don't
tend to
know
have.
exactly where he was shooting at. But yeah, he was slapped off. He was slapped the fuck off.
I heard a snippet and I didn't honestly. Yeah. Okay. Here's. I got two things on that. So let me say that I did hear him berating them because that's what it felt like them berating.
Mm-hmm.
He berating adult people. Um, but I also know that they stated, like you said, the production was already shut down before.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that he has invested. I think about $500,000 of his own personal money to put them on this like ship so
Mm-hmm.
that they can be all together in quarantine allegedly, because I don't know if that's for certain, but that's what I read. And when you have your own money at stake, you trying to get this movie filmed, you probably already worried about will this movie get shut down again, your own safety because he does have children.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I feel like I can see the frustration, right? So I understand being frustrated, being pissed off, because he was like, he seemed like, I didn't see the video, but I heard the audio, and he seemed like he was pointing, and you,
Yeah.
and you. So
He
I
knew
don't
who
know if
he
they
was
weren't
talking
wearing,
to.
I don't know if they weren't wearing a mask, but that's how I would feel. If like, so you gonna come around here, you ain't got no mask on, you ain't gonna follow precautions? Like
Yeah.
what? And then I know people try to say, well, he's in Scientology. They got nothing to do with the fact of the matter is that, yeah, he can be an atheist for all I care. The fact of the matter is right. Um, Now, could that have been me? Just get yelled at, like berated? I think it's a way you can it's a way you can have a conversation with somebody, because he was berating them. Like I
Yeah.
understand the frustration, so I get that, but I also understand and listen and heard the audio, and he was literally berating them about COVID, you know, and so it's up to them. He is a star of the movie. He's a producer of the movie, and he also put some of his money into it. So I mean,
Yeah.
if you messing up, you messing up. I kind of feel like right is right. I think the way he went around it was a little like yikeser. Yeah, it was a little off the top. That's all, because I don't think nobody should be talked to like that. However, I can understand the frustration. Be like, look, I done talked to you once, so look. This it.
We
This
got
it.
we,
I
we,
done had it.
we literally got shut
I
down.
done had it.
We're like it's like how do I have to say it to you for you to get it? Like we literally got shut down before because
Right.
like how many
We
times?
got which when you get shut down, I'm sure gonna push back the filming time and
Mhm.
push back everything else. So I do understand being frustrated, having to start all over again, probably getting new crew, especially if somebody gets sick. Like COVID is
Yeah.
real, and if you don't think it is, look at all the people that have died. So
Okay, we'll talk about your boy Ti.
basically, T.I. was on his podcast talking to uh 21 Savage,
Uh-huh.
and let me just say this. I don't really care how Ti run his household. That's his personal business. I could care less. But I do think that people look up to Ti for whatever reason. And I mean, I know he does stuff in the community. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of like you don't take the man, but you take the actions of the man. But even his actions be kind of faulty. But it's one of them situations where I like his music. I respect him as an artist as far as like he's a good actor too. Like I think he's pretty decent coming off of not, coming from being a rapper and acting in
Right, right, right,
certain
right.
movies. But do I sit there and listen to his podcast? No. But the gist of his podcast when he was talking to 21 was basically that he's doing thought prevention when when he uh basically he has these guidelines that he wants his daughters to follow. You know, dressing, talking, things, and so that way they won't get with nothing ass dude, a dude that's gonna do them wrong, right?
Okay.
And 21 was saying, well, yeah, I, I, he was saying it more like I know how men are, and I try to spend time with my daughters so that there is 21 Savage was the one who was mainly saying that. Like I hold my daughters to, I care more. Not care more. He didn't say that, but he was just like, I, try to give my daughters enough attention and
Mm-hmm.
enough um time that they know what it looks like basically in gist. This is in gist what he was saying. That they know what it looks like when they're treated well by a man. So they don't go out into the world and meet somebody like, a nothing ass nigga and think that that's how I'm supposed to be treated. Because I know what it's like to be treated well. And that's what he was trying to say. And T.I. coming talking about some, you know, he was saying something in the fact that you do as men, I don't care who you are, if you have daughters, you do have to spend time with your daughters and show them not just time, but you have to show them by examples
Right.
of what you do. You know, you can't just be like, okay, yeah, don't do what I do. You know, y'all be out here fucking around on your mama, but you should, you know what I'm saying? It's like, nigga, you out here is the worst. You's the worst. Like Tiny don't even look like herself no more. And it could have been all Tiny's um prerogative. She could be like, I want to change my eyes, my ass, my teeth. You know, she could have did all that. But I guarantee you there's a certain level of when you have to change everything from your eye color to your ass, like to everything where you don't even look like a whole, like nothing like your former self.
Hmm.
That and the man you with has all this infidelity. You can't tell me that she don't think somewhere in her mind that I gotta be good enough. I gotta look like what he going for. You understand what I'm saying? Um, and so they've been together for 10 years. But as far as his daughters, he was like, I let my God, like he said before, he kind of just let his sons have the reign of the world because they're men or they're young men and they're gonna go out and do what they want to do. But for his women, his daughters, rather not his women, but his daughters, he keep them on lockdown, and he's all about thought prevention. I'm like, well, here's the thing: your first, your child, whether it's a young boy or a young girl, their first uh introduction of how they should be treated is the parent. Whether you're not around, whether you're around and you have bad behavior, whether you around and you tell them one thing but you do another. Children imitate what they see. That's just what it is. They look at it, they imitate it, and they just like, okay, this was for the most part. And have you ever been somewhere and like, dang, I would never be like my this, or I would never do what my dad did or my uncle, or whatever,
Hmm.
whoever you have around you, and find yourself doing exactly what you said that you would not do. It's just sometimes it's your environment and what you saw. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that always happens because you can't say, okay, my dad is like this and he treats women wrong, so I'm gonna be different.
Right. Okay.
But you can tell, like just watching the show that he was on, that he was on with his family and friends or whatever, there is a strained relationship with the women in his life. It seems like, especially with his daughters. Um, the daughter that he has, I think he married Tiny, but he considers, I can't know the girl's name, but she's the older daughter.
Right.
She's his daughter by marriage, I guess you could say. It's Tiny's daughter. He didn't even know that girl was pregnant when she announced it and everything. I, you know, so I'm just like, because they was like, T.I. didn't know he got mad. Now, I don't know if that was alleged or that was true or not, but I'm like, why would somebody, that's something you want to share with your family. I'm sure her mother knew, you know, and by this time, it wasn't like she had just got pregnant. She was, showing his daughter, that his biological daughter, that he has with another woman, mind you, but he still, who was younger, and he was still with Tiny, this daughter, um, she has a strained relation with him. That's the one he talking about. He was going in a gynecologist office trying to see the result. You
Right.
see, he's so overbearing, and he act like he has this. Oh, I protect my daughters, but I don't think that's the way you protect your daughters because one thing about that, yeah, I understand you wanted to have certain parameters, how you want your daughters to be in life and how you want them to the world, going into the world and be young ladies, right? But you also have to put that out there. You can't just say one thing and your actions be different because I look up to my mother and you treat her like this, so I can get with somebody who treat me like this as long as they shelling me money out. You know what I mean? And so I think a lot of people had a problem, especially women, stating that you out here saying you holding these women accountable. They shouldn't dress like this. They shouldn't do like this. This stop prevention. But you ain't saying nothing what about the men. You just thinking the men can run rampant. So what happens when you raise your daughter right, quote unquote, right? You
Right.
raise her right, and she's out here. She's in the world. She living her life. She independent, and she don't need nobody. She got a good education, and she come across a nigga that shows her because he ain't raised right, right? Remember that. Say y'all don't care about how the guys were raised, you know, and then your daughter meet him, you know. Well, I love him and this and that. He treat me right, and he got parameters for me. And I mean, it's just the thing is, you gotta hold the same accountability for guys as well. These guys out here that's sleeping around, that's not taking care of their kids if they get a girl pregnant, that's not trying to take care of their responsibility. Is nothing different than a girl who just out here doing whatever she want to do. And so a lot of people had a problem with that. And I agree with that, because the fact of the matter is you can't tell me you can raise me to do everything you right in your mind, right? Do everything right. But there's not having accountability for a guy. It takes two people, okay? With how this thing work, this relationship. So if I'm doing everything right, you still gonna have me come across a guy that, even if I see that he got something wrong, and let's say I dodge him, all the other guys I come across could have some hangups, because you know what? There's no accountability with them. And I got all accountability. And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna internalize that and be like, what's wrong with me? My dad raised me right, quote unquote. I did all I supposed to do. I'm not out here being a hoe, so to speak, because he's doing thought prevention, quote unquote. Then I meet these guys that just can't get right. You know why? Because you're not holding them to the same accountability. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. You let them do what they want to do. So it's like you trying to you. He's so chauvinistic is what it comes down to. Ti is very chauvinistic. That's why it's hard for me to really take him seriously about anything. If he in a movie, I might watch it. He rapping about a song, and if it's here and there, he got some songs that I like here and there. I'll listen to it. But do I sit there and dig deep into his mouth? No, because I already know he's chauvinistic. He's proven that time and time. And what's sad, I think, for me, is that he has offspring. He have kids, boys and girls, that he raised totally different. He let the boys do what they want. He don't have accountability for them. He don't have accountability for himself. And then the girls are like under this regimen where they have to fit into his parameters. And I'm like, who the fuck are you? Yeah, you brought them into this world, but you don't even have the right guidelines. You're not doing right your damn self. But you got your women, the women folk, under these guidelines. It's like, what are you talking about? And I can see how that if I was a child, they would push me away from somebody. Like, I can't listen to you. That's like you got a preacher who's out there like give, and this and that, and be faithful and do right with God, and God watching you, but he in here getting high, being
Mm-hmm.
adulterer out
Mm.
here. It's like you trying to preach on something, and how am gonna take you serious when you out here, sleeping around, being an adulterer, stealing, smoking, doing drugs, or with everything you telling me not to do that's a sin, but you doing it yourself. Like, it's a joke. It's a joke. And that's how I kind of look at him for the most part. T.I. is like a joke on a lot of stuff. Music, okay, whatever. Acting, okay, whatever, But I'm not sitting here. That's why people get mad at him. I'm like, child, just stop listening to T.I. Don't I'm for real. Don't listen to him. You know,
So no relationship advice from Ti. None whatsoever.
no life advice from Ti, and you would think he would have. I don't even think that I don't think he thinks that he's chauvinistic. I don't think he sees how. Just watch his show and how he interact with his daughters. Like, it's sad. It's because it's kind of like abusive. If you like, oh, don't do this, because that's not ladylike. And they gonna listen because it's like they're there, but a part of them, you like, okay, when someone's telling you something and they're giving you advice, and you're like, okay, yeah, I gotta receive that because that is true. I am kind of like whatever. But if someone is giving you advice and they're kind of berating you about it, kind of like how we were talking about, what's the
Tom
name?
Cruise.
Like, y'all messing up, right? But when you getting berated, you think they're gonna take it a little bit different. The only reason they gonna probably go straighten up because they don't want to lose their job. Because he was like, "You're fired. You're
Yes,
fired."
fire, yes,
It's the
fire,
same thing
fire.
with your dad or your parental figure. They're telling you something, so you gonna like, okay, I hear you. All right, don't do this. So you're not gonna do it for right there. But are you gonna look for them for advice and receive it? No, you're not receiving it. You're just doing it because you don't want to get in trouble, or that's your parents. So you're like, okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, I just remember listening to the daughter. Deja is the daughter that the whole thing about how he goes into the gynecological office
Right, right,
to
right.
look at the. she was. It felt. I felt so bad for her because she was on there. She was talking on the show. It was just like, I that's my dad, but I don't really like. We don't have a good relationship, and
Mm.
she said it, and this is an 18-year-old young girl, and you want to have that. I know a lot of times people think once they have kids, they like, at 18, I'm done. But I don't think parents out there who know you ain't never really done. It might they might receive it differently. 18, I think when you're 18, 19, 20, that's when you need the most guidance because you have so much stuff in life that's telling you you're a young adult, you're free to do this, and you have this certain freedom. You going out to college or you going into a trade or you doing whatever you're doing, your life is kind of starting, quote unquote. But the fact of the matter is that you have a lot of freedom and sometimes that can mess you up if you don't have the right parameters and structure, and a lot of that is led by not just example but saying, hey, I did this, I know how this could lead. It's how you talk to somebody at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Like whether it's a parent or not, I think a lot of parents like, I brought you into this world, I'll take you out. Okay, yeah, you could kill me and go to jail, but it's like the fact of it, you don't want me to be scared to come to you when I have an issue with a boy or I have an issue with a girl or I have an issue. I don't know how to handle relationships because I haven't seen. You got me on a scare tactic. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
I can't come to you and have a
I'm on
conversation
edges.
with you because you gonna come and bark at me. You know, I'm not. I can't come to you for advice. So I'm looking for advice from other people who might not be giving me the right advice
Yeah.
or showing me the right attention. And I don't know who to come to, so I'm starting to make my own. Uh, going by my own process and how life is treating me. And let me tell you, when you 18, 19, child, you should
World is
not be left to
completely
your
different.
own devices because I mean some people are some young adults are wittier than others and they can kind of do well by themselves, but I would not leave any young adult by themselves just to make all the decisions all the time. They need a little bit of right guidance. You know what I'm saying? And so to hear her say that, yeah, that's my dad. Like, yeah, I'm here because of him because he gave me life. But as far as relationship, no, it's not a good relationship. And I can see why he doesn't treat her like a young adult,
Yeah.
a young. He treat her like, oh, you my property. And nobody want to be treated like that. And so I'm gonna run for that. I'm gonna rebel against that because all the other girls are out there on that show were doing what they wanted to do, kind of. And then he coming to her like, no, you my daughter, you my property. And it's like it's such a negative and unwarranted feeling because your children are not your property. They're little beings, that you supposed to mold. And I understand, like, okay, I done did some shit. I don't want them to go down the road I went through. Right.
But he
But it's
doesn't
also
tech
a way to
about it.
talk to somebody.
He doesn't have the tech no tech about that.
Yeah, but got all these big words he wanna be floating around. I'm like, boy, you don't shut up. Put that dictionary. The word of the day. Like, nah, you need to have real. And then it seems like it's so hard for him when that whole situation went down. It seemed like it was so hard for him to apologize. And that's another thing. To be a person, whether you're a man or a woman, and not be able to say sorry and really mean it, and to understand not to have the empathy to say, you know what, I could feel where you coming from for that because I wouldn't want anybody to treat me like that.
Right.
Because here's his thing. He's all about, I'm the king of the South. Respect me, put some da 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 da. But if somebody came to him in a certain kind of way, I know he know what it feel like if somebody try to disrespect him, he will feel away.
That
It's
don't
like
make
he
it.
has,
He did embarrass that girl. That was very embarrassing.
yeah.
I felt embarrassed for her. I was
And
like,
every time he goes on a podcast, it's like, I don't really listen to it, so I can't really tell you different episodes. But this one, everybody was kind of up in arms about it or having a conversation about it. And it's like, do y'all expect him to be anything other than what he been showing? Like, this is the same man who didn't see nothing wrong by talking about, even if that was what he did.
right. It was embarrassing to put the business out there like that.
Right.
It was very embarrassing.
And that's what she said. She's like, it's just embarrassing to have a father that's so not even, it wasn't even overprotected because I think he looked at it unprotected her. It's so overbearing. You know what I mean? Like, get out the girl cooch. And it turned out, they said it wasn't even, she didn't even do nothing. But what he was trying to do was like, so since you want to be fast and be with this boy and hang out or do whatever you he said he thought she was doing. I'm gonna show you. It's like a punishment. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna get in your business. And I'm just like, a lot of parents do that though. Get into a situation where okay, you want to be grown and you want okay, I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna be overbearing, and I guarantee you they don't go up the way you think it's gonna go.
No, I don't.
So yeah, but the fact of it is, I don't expect Ti to feel like there's accountability in men because he don't have accountability for himself. So do I think he gonna sit out there and say, "Oh yeah, men, young men, you should hold yourself accountable." I check my sons too. I tell them don't be sleeping with every woman because if you get her pregnant, you that's your responsibility. He not saying that. I don't even see him because he don't do that. He don't feel like that. One thing I will say about Ti, I think what you see is what you get, and he don't make no qualms about it. So I wouldn't even get up in arms about it. I feel bad for his children, especially his daughters, but that's gonna be something that you know how the cycle of life goes. That's something he has to be recompensed for. That's something that's gonna have to come. It's gonna come full circle regardless if he like it or not. You know what I'm saying? And he had to. That's on him and his life and his judgment. I ain't even talking about God. I'm just saying how life works. You know what I'm saying? So
No,
you
I
know,
understand because I was talking to one of my friends about something and about like he was talking about how he's tired of uh kind of like raising other men and stuff like that.
raising other men.
Yeah, like he's like I'm always helping somebody with their problems and I'm raising these other men and like he's like I get tired of reaching out and all this kind of stuff.
Hmm.
And it was more so it was more so him venting
Right.
type of thing. And I know some of the men who do feel like that, oh, it's not my responsibility to teach these young men and stuff like that. And my only thing is to most of those dudes that say that, I was like, do you have a daughter? And someone did or whatever. And I'm like,
Hmm.
well, if you got a daughter, you got to realize that in the age bracket, they gonna run into those men that you didn't care about teaching. Those
Right.
type of men, like you were just talking about the cycle.
Right. Right.
If you don't, I ain't saying you gotta go there and handhold nobody, hold them by the hand, but like you said, hold other men like your sons, so like hold them accountable for how they treat people, how they treat women and stuff like that. Because if you have a daughter or something like that, the cycle continues. Your daughter is gonna run into a man
Absolutely.
that her age that what I'm saying that I don't feel responsible for, but now she has that's who she has to date. That's what
Uh-huh.
she's left with. She's not, what I'm saying, unless she get even now she got a choice between dating somebody her age or a sugar daddy. Like so I know you don't want her with a sugar daddy because for obvious reasons people feel about that. But then if you force now she's forced to date men her around her age or whatever. But if nobody's taught the men how to treat women or held them accountable for women, the cycle continues once again.
Yeah.
So I mean, I do get that as far as holding dudes accountable as far as teaching them how to really treat women or just sitting down and talking to them like, nah, man, that ain't right. What I'm saying? Don't do that like that. Just kind of like that. So I do get that because, like I said, when you have a daughter, these young men are who they're gonna have to date. This is gonna be their dating pool at some point in time or another.
I think it's kind of sad too that he feels that way. I mean, that's his right to feel that way, but I do feel like, especially if he's a black man, I feel like there's a certain thing about us being a village, right? And so I'm not saying you gotta be out here preaching every day, like, hey, young man, don't do that. But I do think even if you don't have children, you don't have daughters, the fact that you don't see. I mean, I just remember growing up and like if we were doing something wrong, it would be a neighbor be like, hey, cut it out, whatever. And then you might look at them like, you ain't my mama, but at the same time, if they know your mama, they tell your mama it's a problem, you
Yeah.
know? And so I do think that, if you coming from that village and trying to build something and build a younger generation, even if it's just a word, a nice word. And like I said, approach is everything. Now, every kid ain't gonna receive it right.
Right.
But it's an approach that you talk to. And you're right. He doesn't have to sit there and talk to every single one person. But if he can give advice to somebody, I think that you just give the advice and you leave it where it is. You don't have to keep saying, "Remember what I told you." You
Right.
give the advice and you move on. It's up to that person to receive it. It's up to that kid to receive it. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I think you have to have more of a village mentality because these are the kids that's gonna be taking care of you when you old. Be out here like you said, dating your uh, pro, uh procreating the world. And so you need to be careful because at the end of the day, they're gonna be raising kids as well. And them kids gonna be raising kids. I'm telling you, it's a learned behavior. It's what you see, it's your neighborhood. You should care about it, you know? It just is what it is. And I know that a lot of times people feel like, well, I ain't got to do that. It ain't got nothing to do with me. But sometimes it does
It
because
does.
if you can sit there and make a difference, so you know how they say one word. Sometimes just having a conversation with somebody and the way that you talk to and the respect that you give a person and say, hey, I just saw this, da 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 da. You know, I think having a conversation, and I know men that will sit down and talk to other young men and give them advice. And whether they had life experiences, they have been through it before. And I think that that's commendable because you're right, you don't. You could just like, you know what, that little motherfucker gonna be bad, he gonna be bad by himself, blah, blah, blah. But you know what, that might be the same person that's gotta give you your jello when you in the hospital and he ain't, you know what I'm just saying?
Right.
He high or he whatever. You just don't know. It's just like you gotta reap what you sow. You gotta put it back into the community. That's how I
Yeah.
feel about it.
And yeah, you're right. And so that's why I'm like, man, maybe his mentality will change as time goes on. I don't know. Because it seems like he does good on this side and he just tank on that side.
Oh,
It's
you talking
like,
about T.I.?
yeah, because it's like he does, like
Nah.
you say, he does a lot of stuff for the community or whatever. But then on the other side, it's like, damn, homie, you kind of missed the ball on that one, you know?
Yeah, I listen. I think with Ti, I know Ti went on to the Red Table Talk and with
Like
his wife.
I think it's more so you pick and choose the advice you take. That's it. Yeah, I think that's what I kind of look at that. You pick and choose the advice. If he's talking about business moves and stuff like that, okay, I'll listen to that. But if he's talking about like relationship wise, yeah,
Right, he might not be the
I'm,
best.
I'm not gonna be there. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you.
yeah, man. I'm gonna have to go back and listen to that because I listened to some of that podcast. And it was more the part I listened to was more so when he was talking about when Twenty was talking about his immigration status and stuff like that, how that whole situation kind of came about and
Hmm.
how he navigated so long in this country without a social security number and stuff like that. Um,
Oh, where I see, I gotta really listen to it for that part because I didn't even. Like I
he
said, I don't listen to Ti's podcast, so
right.
I got this snippet that everybody was in the.
Yeah, but I didn't I listened to the whole thing. So the part you talk about I didn't even hear. Um, but then I might go back and just check it out, just kind of listen to it, see what that see exactly what he was saying and all that kind of stuff. Cause
Right.
yeah.
That's all we got. Like he said, I don't
Yeah,
like
hey, this your show, babe. I'm just
this.
here. You know
Ain't
what I'm
bullshit.
saying?
No, I don't have nothing else. And I would say, do you have something else? But shit, I'm trying to wrap this up.
Yeah, let's go ahead and wrap this sound up. Well, anyway, this has been the General Conversation Podcast.
Literally, general conversation. There you
Yeah,
go.
shoot the shit.
Shooting the shit.
You know what I'm saying? Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Kwanzaa,
Merry Christmas.
whatever you
Merry
celebrate,
Christmas.
whatever you celebrate.
Happy Kwanzaa.
Yeah, happy whatever you
Happy
celebrate.
Hanukkah. All of that good
Yeah,
stuff. Whatever you celebrate. And
and
I
that's
hope
it.
y'all have a good New Year. We probably gonna put another. We probably gonna do one more podcast before the year and close that out. They're gonna be the close of season 2. So when we start 2021,
We'll
we
start
can
season
start it
three.
on season 3. Yeah, I think that'll
Season
be a
three.
good thing.
Yeah, and Valerie,
It's
Valerie, I need you to come prepared. I need you to have your topics together when you come this time.
bullshit, bro. You need to come prepared. We can
You
close
come
it out.
prepared. You supposed to have your notes and stuff in
I'm gonna
order.
tell you what we're gonna talk about already. This is the topic.
You don't
What
come
has
prepared
been the
style.
most? What has been the most important thing you've learned this 2020? How about we talk about that?
Okay, man. I like naps, but
That's what you learned for 2020.
I like naps, baby. That's what I roll with.
Oh God. And what are you looking for 2021? Y'all can comment below too. But all right, we thank you guys for listening to us ramble and give y'all a general conversation of different topics. If y'all have any topics that you want us to discuss, please drop it below or comment, email us. All our information is below. We thank you for listening. We want y'all to be safe. Wear your mask. Also, if you are in Georgia, don't forget to vote in the runoff election. And that's all I got. What about you,
Yeah,
Cordero?
she said wear your mask because if I see you not wear your mask, I'm gonna Tom Cruise your ass. That's what.
Okay. All right. That's been the General Conversation Podcast.
Peace.
Peace.